how do I know if my advertising's working for me and bringing in a good return on investment? Because I mean, again, remember I mentioned I was in marketing a million years ago.
Right.
Really, I mean, you, how did you hear about us? Oh,
Right.
drove by, or whatever. You never got really great straight answers. I know with digital, it should be different, but how do you monitor whether or not it's working for your clients?
So here at 2060 Digital, we have a client dashboard that they can log into and access their information, and minute by minute they can see it.
Wow.
So there's very accurate, transparent reporting, and we are always making sure that we set the proper expectation for your budget and for what the services are that you're going to be signing on for. So that's one way. But really another way would be to log into your Google Analytics, and you have the back end of Google Analytics. And again, that's something that I can help you set up or identify how to use it.
Yeah.
And that will show you real-time results too. So I think that that's really helpful to see, and just make sure that your expectation is understood. Return on investment for an attorney might be, well, I invested $10,000, Renee, this month in pay-per-click. I should have gotten 1 or 2 cases out of that $10,000 investment, right? I mean, and these are just rough numbers. I'm just saying it. But for you, it might be, well, Renee, I invested $500 and I was really looking to get 50 clients from that $500. So let's talk about that expectation, because that's not.
You have to look at the average sale, your average sale, what the lifetime value of a client is.
Absolutely.
So clearly with an attorney, the fees are going to be much, much higher. So if you do that, okay, if I give you $1,000 and I get back, $2,000 in business,
right,
whether or not I still wasn't very comfortable spending that $1,000. What are you, crazy? You got back $2,000.
right,
you take that deal all day long. If I said, I'll give you $1 and you give me back $2, I'll take it all day long, right?
That's right.
We should all like that kind of return on investment.
We just need to have the right expectations. It needs to get discussed, and it should get discussed often. It should get discussed at the sign of setting up a campaign. Maybe at every review of the campaign, you should be discussing this with your analyst at least quarterly, maybe monthly, whatever your time will allow. It should be something that's taken into consideration. And you should be looking at things like bounce rate, click-through rates. How many clicks did I get? If possible, how many phone calls did I get? Can you tell me, can you measure my conversions? Can you tell me what that equals to? So those are things, depending on the business, that we can most certainly just discuss and quantify for you.
Right. There is a lot on those Google Analytics reports to really dive into, and it is hard to know what's really important and what isn't important. Is bounce rate important? Is it not important? And I know it's different for each person. Some of them are more important than other things. But again, for the typical, and again, I'm kind of tuned into some of this stuff. I still find some of it to be confusing. So I think having an expert really to be able to boil it down and say, this is important, here's why. And oh, by the way, this is dollars and cents. I mean, I think that's really, really helpful. So